Hey everyone! The Yamanote Line is a famous and popular rail line amongst tourists because many must-visit landmarks are within walking distance to important train stations such as Tokyo Station. This video is going to introduce some of these landmarks along this line. The Yamanote Line is a circular route operated by JR East and is about 34.5 kilometers in length. The line is one of the oldest in Tokyo and services the central part of this vast megalopolis. The busiest and most important stations are shown in black, but other important stations are shown in red as well. Like the vast majority of train travel in Tokyo, it is distance-based, but a tip is to not worry about the cost and just use a Suica Card at the ticket gates, or if you're using a rail pass like the Tokyo-wide pass or the JR pass. If you need to cross the Yamanote Line, instead of going in a circle, the Chuo Rapid Express line provides an east-west connection between Shinjuku and Tokyo Station. I've relied on this crosstown line often during my last trip and only takes 14 minutes. An alternative is a web of subway routes, and the quickest is the Marunouchi line at 18 minutes. One of my favorite places to visit whenever I am in Tokyo is Meiji Shrine. Located just beside Harajuku Station, Meiji Shrine provides lush greenery and fresh air within a densely built-up city. I really love coming to Meiji Shrine, but my advice is to come here super early before 8:30 a.m. before all the locals come. Many locals come here to pray before going to work or school during this time, and tourists are usually there until at least 9:30 a.m. In the morning, you can see staff clearing the path of debris along the wide pathway. Massive wooden torii gates signal entry to the shrine from both the north and south entrances. It is mesmerizing for sure, especially seeing how large these gates are relatively to a human. Now remember, opening hours vary because it is between sunrise and sunset. There are the usual Instagrammable locations, such as the row of colorful sake barrels and the numerous torii gates. There is also a power spot somewhere in the shrine grounds, but given I don't really believe in power spots, I haven't experienced it before. One of the newest landmarks in Tokyo is a unique building that combines commercial retail uses and an open space on the roof. It is located a few minutes' walk from Shibuya Station. I am not going to introduce the mall itself, other than to say there are many types of stores here, with the northern section of the mall devoted to the same high-end brands. There is also the Shibuya Yokocho on the ground floor, devoted to izakaya-style eating. Miyashita Park opened in 2020 to much local fanfare and has quickly become a place to hang out amongst the younger crowds. There's a bunch of recreational activities here, such as a bouldering wall, beach volleyball, and skateboard park. There are also more sitting areas too to people watch. The park is also a great place for train spotting as well, given the Yamanote Line, the Saiko Line, and the Shonan Shinjuku Line all run through here. I don't need to say much about the scramble, as it remains popular with tourists. The biggest updates for 2023 is the demolition of the Tokyo department store that used to house the Shibuya station on the Ginza line. The building has pretty much been fully demolished. So where did the subway station go? Well, it moved right next to Shibuya Hikarie. Other than that, everything is the same and is a great location for novice tourists. One destination that is hugely popular is Shibuya Sky. I visited the observation deck days after the grand opening in November 2019, and it is totally worth a visit, even if you are afraid of heights like I am. The views, especially on a sunny day, are amazing, and under the right conditions you can even see Mount Fuji. There are a number of places here to sit, such as hammocks where you can admire the clouds and stars, and a bar where you can drink while you admire the views. It is recommended to visit here during the sunset. Admission is 2,200 yen, and at the door is 2,500 yen, but with the price it is totally worth it. Tickets are sold online based on time slots, and given the popularity of this attraction, it is actually best to buy in advance. Time slots are in 20-minute intervals, but you can actually stay as long as you like. The newest train station on the Yamanote Line was built in anticipation of the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, and was open as intended in March of 2020. However, as we all know, there was great uncertainty whether the Olympics was going to forge ahead as planned. The station ended up being grossly underutilized, especially when you see the current lack of development immediately around the station. The reason why the station is on the list, however, is because of its architecture, and its design contributes to meeting Tokyo's sustainable goals. The station interior is enclosed except for key locations where breezes cool indoor temperatures. Extensive use of windows let in lots of sunlight, reducing the need for heating in the winter. Japanese cedar, commonly used as a building material in shrines and temples, are also used here as beams. You may not need to make a stop at this train station, but if you want to spend even just a few minutes in browsing, it is recommended, especially if you are a fan of the Japanese architect Kengo Kuma, who also designed the Japan National Stadium for the 2020 Summer Olympics. Now, Tokyo Station is so extensive that it deserves its own video. So my recommendation here is to visit an observation deck that some people know. The Marunouchi side of this train station is my favorite because of the large plaza and the surrounding office district. It really has a European feel to it, and it is a favorite of mine to stroll and people watch. Located to the south of this plaza is Kite, a shopping mall and office complex that is housed in a former general post office. The post office remains on the ground floor of this white building. In addition to having a meal and shopping, head to the top floor via the elevators to a landscaped rooftop patio and garden. This patio here gets windy, so be careful of hats blowing away. The observation deck here includes wooden benches for small groups and a larger set of plastic benches near the historic water tower. The view, of course, is the highlight of this visit, where you stand above the rooftop of Tokyo Station. Further, you can see inside the train platforms and the entire rail network. Here, you can see the various local trains and Shinkansen parked at the platform, and trains coming into and out of the station. This observation deck is great for train spotters, photographers, and videographers alike. It is also a great place to absorb what it means to be in Tokyo. This popular park needs no introduction, as it is another popular destination for locals and tourists. The park itself includes sports facilities, a zoo, temples and shrines, museums, and a massive concert hall. One of the main sakura viewing areas within Tokyo is actually in Ueno Park, and I was lucky enough to partake in the sakura festivals here. You can easily spend an entire day here in Ueno Park, including several hours at the Tokyo National Museum. I made a visit to the museum in 2019, but also with a friend on this trip in 2023, and I absolutely recommend strolling through the maze of artifacts and special exhibits. Ueno Park is super easy to get to, as it is directly west of Ueno Station. Admission is free to the park, but required for museums and the zoo. The Yamanote Line is an incredibly popular train line, and a tourist would conceivably spend the entire time traveling along this line and seeing landmarks without ever taking any other train or subway lines in the city. The places I listed in this video are only a snapshot of the dozens of other locations. If you've been to Tokyo before, what are your favorite sites along the Yamanote Line? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.